I've recently begun starting to get emails from the Trump campaign that contain information that the campaign keeps closer to the vest. I'm going to talk more about the recent accolades I've gotten from the campaign in a future video, but for now, I want to share some things that Alex Jones has corroborated in a new video that I saw after I read this email, and it's pretty interesting stuff. But before we get to that, App Maker. Trump will win election. Despite a majority of opinion polls showing the 2016 election going to Hillary, smartphone app developer says his data suggests Trump will be the victor. We're not a poll, we're a conversation, and we're 100% anonymous, he says. Now, keep that in mind, the anonymous part. Some questions say, who are you voting for? 64% Trump. That's huge. California, who are you voting for? Trump, 55%. Again, huge. California, usually a left state, usually our blue state. If Trump wins California, he wins the election. Just that simple. And by the way, this right here about Trump winning California, also remember that little detail for a minute from now. Now, why do the mainstream media's polls, why are they completely different than what this app maker is saying and what Trump's internal polls that I'm about to read say? Quite simple. Donald Trump, this article was posted July 28th, Donald Trump saw a 17-point positive swing in 2 weeks in a Reuters poll. He went from being 15 points behind Hillary Clinton to 2 points ahead of her, which is astonishing. That is groundbreaking. That is amazing. And that shows that's probably more accurate than the other polls that we've seen from the mainstream media that, by the way, confirmed poll more Democrats than Republicans. In fact, some polls poll 15 to 20% more Democrats, which makes sense why Hillary has a 10-point lead over Trump. If you poll 600 Democrats and 400 Republicans, who do you think is going to have a lead? Anyway, so what Reuters did was when Trump saw a 17-point swing, Reuters removed the neither option from their presidential preference polls. And all of a sudden, Hillary skyrocketed. They also, like I said, began polling more Democrats than Republicans. So then, after tampering with the results, Hillary had a 15-point lead again, which was completely inconsistent with what they had reported the previous week, which, by the way, this poll where Donald Trump got a 17-point swing, got an A- from 538, which is another polling organization, and an A- means it's very accurate. So, Trump is also doing what's called election observing, where you can sign up to be an election observer, which means you watch certain electronic voting machines and make sure there's no funny business going on, and as well as doing exit polling, which means you, when people are leaving the polls, you ask them, hey, who'd you vote for? And many people say that that's an accurate way of polling. By the way, the exit polls in Iowa from the primaries had Trump ahead, but yet Cruz won. I still find that a little fishy. Anyway, I signed up to be an election observer. I don't exactly know, other than these things, what we're going to be doing yet. I hope you can sign up and do it. This is like he says, like I've said, it's the most important election ever, and we need to make sure it's not stolen from us. With that said, let me read some of these internal polls from the Trump campaign. Ohio, +7 for Trump. Pennsylvania, +10 for Trump. Florida, ranging from +10 to +15 for Trump. California, +3 for Trump. Now, Trump isn't just doing these polls to make himself feel good. He has bipartisan, unbiased pollsters doing on-the-ground polling, real-deal stuff. And this is amazing. If Donald Trump wins California, even if it's by a little bit, but if he wins California, he wins the election. Republicans rarely, if ever, win California. If he's able to get that, especially from what I'm assuming it will be, is probably Bernie voters switching to Trump to get revenge on Hillary, I think that would be a monumental success for Donald Trump. Now, keep in mind, too, that one of the main reasons why Trump doesn't get some more support on these mainstream media polls, right here, this part from the article. The real problem this year's polling presents to Democrats is the reluctance, especially among more educated voters, to confess their support of Trump. Other pollsters have noted the divergence between polls conducted with live operators and robo-phone calls. Live operators have long been considered the preferred, most accurate method inside the polling community, meaning you're talking to a real person, you're telling a real person on the phone, I'm voting for Trump, which some people might be embarrassed to do, considering the media tells you how evil you are if you support him. However, live operator polls uniformly show lower support for Trump than online or automatic dial phone polls. Now notice that the polls that have Trump less are considered the more accurate polls by the mainstream media, by the establishment, of course, right? So people, as Trump refers to it, the silent majority, they support Trump but don't want to admit it. They're almost like closet Trump supporters. And also, what they're trying to abandon and abolish voter ID laws to have illegal aliens voting in states like California, Texas, whatever, to swing the vote towards Hillary Clinton. Kansas Secretary of State Chris Kobach in Colorado, he was in Colorado and he said that they need to adopt voter ID laws all over the country. And I completely agree. And that would also help get rid of some of this voter fraud and election fraud if everybody has to present a voter ID and some registration. With that said, the media is actually being completely nefarious and are actually saying that Trump could lose states such as Utah, my home state of Georgia, which is nonsense. And by the way, I need to make a video, but Georgia is not a swing state. Every time they poll Georgia, they poll now, for the general election, they poll in Atlanta, which is far more Democrat, which is a Democratic stronghold in Georgia, but everywhere else in Georgia is strong Trump. I see Trump signs all over where I live. I don't see one Hillary sign. They're saying states like Georgia, Utah, and even Texas are going to go for Hillary Clinton. I don't think so. How long has it been since a Democrat won Texas? A long time. Now, we have to keep these people in the open. They can't steal. Now, here's why they're saying that. They're saying that Hillary's going to win by 15 points in these national polls, and Hillary's going to win Georgia, Utah, Texas, so that when they steal these states, they already have the narrative presented. Oh, well, we've been telling you for months Hillary had a 15-point lead. Makes sense she'd win Georgia. That's why they're telling us now, oh, Georgia's a swing state, when that's a total crock. When in actuality, Trump is in his internal polls is winning in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida. I think he could win Michigan. I think New York is on the table. And it would appear from his internal polls that California would be a very, very close race between Trump and Hillary this election, unless it's rigged, of course. And as Trump said recently, the only way he thinks he can lose Pennsylvania is if she cheats, which she's going to, as proven by this year's Democratic primaries. So, that's what Trump's internal polls say. He's doing very well. The media won't report it. Their polls are biased. They're bogus. They're nonsense. But we have to keep them honest. We have to sign up to be election observers and to prevent them from stealing this election from the American people, which we're going to stop them from doing.